I gotta say, these comps being routed out, I feel like Top Esports have a better chance to win this game, Grapes, as this feels like a very comfortable composition for them. Can really play through the Lee and the Rise early, as this is really full early game showing for Top Esports, but
I feel like a lot of them were cheering for WE after that happened. And oh my goodness, we're about to get a bit of a scrap here. Chris Crashdown is canceled early on. Monkey in trouble as Kanavi dashes in with a resonating strike. That is first blood to start things off for Top Esports. And now Cube gonna get hit up by the W2, forced to flash away. And WE down early as it's gonna be first blood picked up for Top. For themselves that objective steal.
Cube also stepped away from the wave to try and assist his flash support and bot. Chris, he's dead.
Oh my god, Chris just dies. I don't know how that happened. Now Jackie Love gonna be in some trouble as well. Taylor doesn't have enough mana for an arrow just yet. Finally will proc it. The comment and the Scorch is gonna pick up a double kill in for WE's AD carry.
Cream TP.
Matched here by Cream. He teleported down here to try to make a trade of things. The overload does not connect. The Rune Prison will eventually lock him down, and it will make it a 2-for-1 overall.
Last Split's best team, yeah.
Last Split's best team,
yeah. I mean, again, it's been a pleasant surprise here. As, oh, that's a Realm Warp coming in. They gotta be careful. Nice flash from Chris.
Yeah, Sun's up too, looking for the engage. Cream comes in with a Realm Warp as well. One more auto on a Monkey should do it. That is the third kill. The Feet of Warfare picked up here for Top Esports.
Oh boy.
Looking for some more potentially, but the Arcane Storm from Karis is doing a lot of work. 369 forced to go in onto Taeyun, but Taeyun will find a kill first, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade once again. Cream now in some trouble, but Karis
has mana.
Vampire looking for a potential hook. Kanavi looking to join the fray as well. Does not use the resonating strike in, and so will be WE just letting them get away with this one, unless another hook comes in from Vampire, and Karis picks up a kill.
Oh, the home crowd loves it too. Could hear him in the background there as WE win out on that skirmish on the top side. Taeyun, a lot of gold in his shoulders versus Cream, who did go down at the end, but still sitting at 2-1 and 2. Accelerated towards that Roa, and that Seraphs could be big.
Almost got a little steal from Taeyun there, but it is all 3 grubs secured by Top. Now go on to this Scuttle Crab, but Monkey here to try to defend it as well, take it for himself.
They're thinking
the squad. Vampire gonna hex flash over the wall, land the rune onto Chris. Gonna be matched with the crash down onto Monkey. Kanavi still does a lot of damage here, but Chris is already very low. 369 has now joined the fight. He's gonna use that to the skies and take this now down. Makes it a 1-for-1 trade though, as both junglers are now out and down for the count. Taeyun gonna be the target. Accelerated Shock Blast connect, but on the back end of things, Cream taking a boatload of damage, but is doing a boatload right back. Chris trying to find a stun onto Karis. Again, another 1-for-1, but 369 still is alive here in this fight. The Shock Blast will take Vampire down to below 200, but that is all it shall be. Made over the third spawn of the Gromp. 369 forced back into underneath his tower.
He's down level.
He is very singled out. He's very under leveled as well, as Monkey actually has the XP advantage over him. 369 without the flash probably actually will just go down to the 1v1 as it gets a little bit of assist from the death ray of Karis, but Monkey is the one to secure the kill.
TPing out is down again a level and a half to Cube, which is I'm really concerned about as this game goes on for Top Esports.
Well, they at least get one of these grubs. Actually, don't end up getting either all 3 grubs or the turret, so a little bit too aggressive maybe in terms of their oversteps here. As a really nice chain of corruption lands from Taeyun and ends up taking Kanavi down. But the crash down from Crisp is going to be big, also combined with the Magnet Storm, forcing the flash away. WE, though, stacked fully as 5, and off of a really nice play from Varus.
Again, they have a comper with the MF, with the Rel, with the Rise Jace. They should be on the front foot. Like, they should be really able to dictate the pace of this game, and they have been with the Grubs, but they haven't played out clean enough.
Top Esports maybe are playing a little bit cleaner overall. Still absolutely in contention here, as we got a teleport coming in from Cream. Karis going to be the target here with the Arcane Storm, doing a lot of damage. Kanavi already at half HP. Cream should be able to finish things off onto Karis. The question would have been if it's Kanavi the trade in a 1-for-1. There's the Essence Flux, and it will be Cream picking up the kill. I don't think anybody is really playing that bad compared to game number 1 where we had a couple of big int levels on top.
No, I think I like the direction with some of the Grubs. Again, they had those 3 Grubs up early. You see Cream actually take the decision to drop that turret because I think he was denying local gold. Top Esports secure this bot river control, which should lead to the second dragon that won't be contested by WE.
Yeah, Karis has a nice wave pushing topside, so they're going to try to get some damage maybe onto that tier 2 or just deny some of that extra gold in CS that could be crashing in underneath the turret. WE, they should be able to take it down pretty low. I don't think Kanavi wants to necessarily go for this, especially because he now has a chase, pushing in a side lane onto the tier 2 turret of his opponent.
Yeah, of course, able to get that wave all the way in exchange for the Rift Herald that was taken by WE, and to be able to absorb most of the waves after that. So I'd say not all bad for WE.
At top 2 in this group, and WE somewhere in the bottom 2 in this group. And right now, it's not looking like that as much, and I think that's proving that these teams got into the Ascension group for a reason and are going to be competitive against all of the top teams. It's going to be matched, though, by the piercing arrow of Taeyeon. Remember, this is sole point for top esports, so they will pick it up, but they're going to try to single out just one singular target. 369 in some trouble, but he still will remain alive, even with the hail of arrows coming down. But Monkey looking to chase down top esports, but he might have gone a little bit too far forward. Cream with the Rune Prison will pick up the first kill of the fight, and Crisp is still hungry, looking for an engage, but instead, he will go back to the Mountain Dragon to claim the prize for top.
I like the idea from Team WE, just played it way too fast. And we've seen this from Monkey and WE before. The overextension, spent a lot of time talking about that in Game 1. Definitely saw that come to fruition here in Game 2 as Monkey tries to reach, tries to finish up some kills. And WE, they don't stay disciplined with their lines. It's going to play out the back half of that fight as top esports find a win.
That was a Cream. Level 14, two
yeah,
levels ahead of
Karis
Karis
got so far behind.
With a full stacked Roa, 4-1 and 4. This guy can be a problem for the rest of this game. He is available. If they want to try to set up some unique flank, maybe with Chris. Dragon has to start it up by WE.
The poke's not really landing yet for WE. They've done an okay job of setting up, but one the projectile is dangerous.
Vampire, he pulled the trigger first. All of a sudden, that could be Crispin in a lot of trouble. Vampire dies instantaneously. Cube on the back line, going in on a Jackie. He's forced to flash over the wall. Cream in a lot of trouble as the piercing air from Taeyeon takes him down. But 369 and Kanavi trying to make something happen, but it will not work. It is 369 still alive, but Taeyeon is still full HP. Overall, a 3 for 3 across the map.
Because being down flashes, you're really setting up for a dangerous fight here.
Wave comes over. Kanavi might just try to look for the steal, but again, it is going to be Crisp who gets engaged on first. Monkey dashes forward. He's still alive. Vampire is still alive as well. Karis flashes away. Top esports might be melting. Cream goes down. Finally, Cube will get a response as it is Kanavi looking to carry his team to a Game 2 victory. He lands a Sonic Wave. The snipe comes through from 369 as well, as that is the full ace picked up for top esports.
Oh, and I thought that was going to be a tough one for top. No one had flash available going into the
No!
fight. Everyone had flash available for WE going into that fight. And top esports were the ones that came out on top in a fight where, again, their conditions were much worse going in. So curious to get a second look. But you got to imagine with that fight being won, it's going to be Mountain Soul over to top esports. Their economy is way too big to overcome. This is likely going to just be the game. I really struggle to see ways where they can overcome a Mountain Soul. Gonna need top esports to have some airs.
Cream gets hit up by the Chain of Corruption. Does go golden as well as Cube goes over the backside. All of a sudden, Jackie Love is very low, and that's a shutdown going over to Cube. Now here comes Monkey dashing onto Cream. He's already gone golden. He's already had that cooldown exposed. And WE punish another overextension from top esports. The main carries of top are dead. That should be Baron going over.
I mean, the bullet time was shut down immediately by the public execution from Cube, and WE find 2 big Weber Smite still on the board for Kanavi. WE gonna try and keep him out of the pit. Crisp has flash. Look out for his engage.
No ultimates available though for WE. They have to be very careful. In goes Kanavi, gonna try to find a 1v5, but no, he has his Guardian Angel procced. 369 still at full HP. Kanavi respawns, gonna try to find 1 kill back, but no. It's another shutdown going towards Cube, but the health bars are so low. 369 does a lot of damage. Can 369 and Chris find something? The Baron's at 2000 HP, surely not a steal. And now WE going to try to escape. 369 not going to want to risk it just yet. Cream has his teleport up in 8 seconds. If we can cancel some of the bases, maybe that is a fight angle back in for top, but no. WE will go back with Baron in their hands. Draft that WE's late game team fighting can end up being better when you have Karis eventually getting towards that 3rd item. He's still not there yet, but after this Baron power play, I can imagine that Zanya's finally does get collected. Top esports playing very defensively at this point in the game. Cube might have gone a little bit too far forward. The Realm Warp is going to be used by Cream to try to force him back. Flash in with the to the skies for 369. Cube going to try to make it a one-way trip. Going in on the Cream, trying to make it a 1-for-1, but no. He will go down and will be traded, though, by the tier 2 turret on bot. He'll be able to pick this up. It also stalls out the Baron, which is only available for 45 more seconds. WE going to try to get there as fast as they can, but now with the Blood Res roses forming, do WE want to go in? It looks like no, and instead it will be top Esports picking up all of them.
On setups and on conditions. It's been a common error for Team WE is Elders now spawn. WE do not have any control over it on the map, but are still looking to find
Kanavi finds the kick. Taeyun is down. The bullet time finishes him off, and that should do it here. Kanavi will go down though. Terrace still very strong. Cream gonna have to try to lock him down, focusing his attention towards Monkey first, as Cube still looking for 369. Chris will fall under the turret, but Cream still very big on the front line. It's overall a 2 for 2. The kick was big from Kanavi, but WE still able to hold the line.
Cube's only here, and Karis is going to base. He's CPing in, but I think he's going to be late.
Baron, the Dragon, sorry. 6,000 HP. It looks like top Esports instead want to play the fight. Hook lands onto 369. Vampire already dead. Cream forced to go golden here underneath the gravity well. And Karis going to be targeted now by Jackie Love. The double ups do so much damage. Relmore comes in. It's going to be 2 members, the soul laners of top Esports, collapsing on the Cube. Karis forced to use the Zanyas, but it'll be all for naught as Cream will pick up the kill. And back to the Elder they go.
Jackie's way too big. Vampire goes in, but had no depth charge available, so it's a one-way trip from the Nautilus. And Jackie Loves that map runs the back half of the fight as the one DPS marksman going to be able to carry top Esports through the late game, get them that Elder Dragon. And now, yet again, we're looking at a game 3 that's likely going to happen as top Esports still putting the finishing touches on this game 2. Elder being taken at the time does pretty much guarantees the Baron going to be taken afterwards.
And them dying a bit too much. They were able to win that second engagement around the Elder Dragon. So now they'll have both that buff and the Baron in the next couple of minutes. For WE, it's going to be very hard to try to defend against that, even though
the damage from MF seems to be the real difference maker in the back half. Of course, is that DPS marksman versus the poke marksman, and we are at full builds. Where that we've seen MF really take over in the back half of these this game. Elder Dragon still up for top Esports WE. They're on full seed mode. And we'll see if they can just continue to delete these waves and try and slow down the push as 2 inhibitors likely to fall for free in favor of top Esports.
Yeah, Cream did a good job escorting that top wave in. Monkey maybe for some sort of engage. Probably going to want to fight underneath the Nexus turrets at this point. As here come the waves. Baroned up minion waves going into the Nexus turrets. Top Esports going to try to even up this series against WE at 1 apiece, even though they fought tooth and nail to at least make it an even state at this point. First Nexus tower already getting very, very close to going down. It finally does fall. Monkey going to get targeted up. The Elder Dragon burn not enough just yet, but Cube is going to actually die first. There comes the Guardian Angel proc. Vampire will fall. Karis dies, and that's the game. Top Esports have evened up our series, and we are going to a game number 3.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.